So we're off trail here. It's pretty dense, and we're just up the ridge from where I'm currently casting some prints for Rob Roy at the Palmer Gallery, the Bigfoot Gallery there in Palmer, Alaska. You're welcome, Rob Roy. You owe me for the 5-minute hot mud. I got the receipt, so don't worry. But here's where Bill is, right over there, and you can barely see him. Yeah. All right, we'll get back to you here shortly. Just wanted you to see where we were stomping around in, breaking trail. Nothing like the wilds of Alaska. All right. There's a little ermine right there. So how cool. Cute is that? I don't know if it's picking up on camera or not, but he is cute.
Damn it, I don't have my camera. You gotta send me a picture of his ass.
Well, if it...
There he is up in the tree. In between the tree. Right here. See him?
Oh, yeah, he's peeking up right there. Curious little guy.
He's not afraid at all, is he?
No, he's a little one. Hey, cutie. That's a little ermine.
I'll go see if I can grab my camera. He probably won't be there, but I'll be right back.
He's coming back. He's kind of curious about us. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, you are too adorable. Let me see if I can... Oh, there he is. He's playing peekaboo with us. There he goes, right there. Look how cute that little bugger is.
He's still there?
Yeah, he's right here. He's as cute as the dickens. Man. Almost looks fake, he's so cute. Where'd you go, you little bugger? There he goes, right there. Peekaboo, I see you. It's cute as a bug's ear. So something Bill noticed and showed me, all these tree branches have been plucked out and pulled out. Very interesting. You can see the one sticking up right there. It's got the little, just plucked right on out. At least there's bird activity over here. Is dead quiet everywhere else. Hey, greetings, this is Fred in Alaska. I'm out here in a remote encounter location on site with the witness and the person who has experienced it. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Bill Benty, lifelong Alaska native from Chickaloon Native Association, and this is my story. So I came out here, I was on a ride, and first thing I noticed, we were going down a trail that we were checking out some early moose hunting, and we noticed a tree down, and it just seemed odd to me. Just didn't look right. There's a little spruce tree next to it, birch tree down. So I cut it out of the trail and kept going, paid it no mind. Got down to the next stretch of trail and noticed the two branches down, one on each side of where the trail went around the tree. And got to looking further and seen a track, and my mind kept dismissing it, but it really raised some questions in my mind. So my wife and my daughter and I came out, and we camped for a night, overnight, and we went to go back out the next morning, and a tree was just slid across the trail as if to stop us. And the first thing that came to my mind is we were going to be ambushed by something. I wasn't sure, and it just raised my heartbeat. So I got out, I took out the chainsaw, cut it out, and we left.
Now, not to stop you, but was there anything that was going on while you were sitting here before you started heading out, or was it just quiet the whole time?
Just quiet. Heard okay. Nothing. Didn't see nothing.
Okay, I'll let you continue.
So we went ahead and left, and as I got home, things started playing back in my mind and fitting the pieces together. So we decided, let's go back out for another ride and check things out. So we did. We packed everything up and we went out, and we came back and we saw more footprints, and we kept hearing stuff off in the brush, and it just they call it the samurai chatter, the whoops off in the distance, but ever so light, barely enough to where you could hear them, to where it almost made you think you're almost kind of hearing things.
Right.
So my wife and I, we decided to keep going up and down the trail a little bit and follow these things, see if they moved and made noise. So we pulled off to the side in a field where I thought they were maybe crossing, and we sat there and we heard a female say a sentence. And so I stopped and I looked at my wife, and she looked at me at the same time as to see if we heard it. And again, two female voices were talking to each other, and just startled the living heck out of us. So
were you able to make out what the conversation may have been, or was it garbled? Was it
just heard a sentence? It was like plain as day, but we were so startled that we don't remember what they said or if it really meant anything. It was just a kind of a lowish, just a low talk, like a single sentence, like say two women were walking down the trail on a nature walk, but we're way out in the middle of nowhere. There would not be any women out here. There was no tracks over ours on the four-wheeler trail, but when we rode out, we noticed a couple of their tracks around us. So we came back to the field, and one of the logs that was tipped down in the field, we noticed that had been down for the last couple of times we've been back here, was standing up. And my wife brought it to my attention. She said that log was not laying down. And I looked and I said, oh my gosh, you're right, it was not laying down, or I mean standing up. So we noticed that, and we just kept watching these things and just kept listening, and we could hear them come in the brush from us on each side, plain as day, bipedal. You could not mistake it. My 11-year-old daughter, my wife, we all three witnessed this over and over again, night after night. We came out here for 2 weeks straight, and that's when we decided to call Fred and share this with everybody, because I thought it was important.
right? And especially with that trackway, because all those things someone could dismiss, whether it be a tree broken, a weird sound in the woods and all that, but all that stuff accumulated with the tracks. And to me, it looked like those tracks followed you guys out. Just by the way they look, because they look like there was some that were short stepped, almost like you're puttering out because your daughter was sleeping, and almost like they're following you. But that's super creepy thought. Anyway,
Fred brought it to my attention, and because I didn't know what I was looking at really exactly, because my mind still kept telling me all this. I'm just seeing things. This doesn't mean nothing. It's just somebody's tracks. And he brought it to my attention when we had ridden in that night, or that day, and we rode out that night. You could see the tracks that followed us out. It was pitch black when we rode out, and the tracks came back over each other and came back in.
And they were actually in your wheeler tracks you left
the night before. And you couldn't mistake the wheeler tracks.
Yeah, he has, hold on, I'll show you here. He has some very noticeable tires. Here's the Beast of Burden. It's 1000cc Polaris Razor 1000 XP. It's got a 3-inch lift and 33-inch tires versus the 29-inch stock tires. But anyway, that's what we were coming in and out on. Go ahead and continue.
So that was about it. That about wraps it up. So we've been out since then, and we hear them coming in. And we did have a time where I came out and I was sitting on there was a metal crossing you got to cross, and I was sitting there, and about 30 minutes later I was seeing if I could hear anything. There was kind of a creek flowing underneath me, so you couldn't hear a lot, but all of a sudden, just bam, rock just beamed off of this metal crossing, and I scared the living bejesus out of me.
Was that in the middle of the night as well? Was it all pitch black when that happened?
No, that was just about dusk. That was about 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Still, because of course we got sun up here still, even until I'd say about 11 o'clock at night.
Close to it. Yeah, I haven't looked at the
at least light.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, and then that happened, and then my wife and I came out here after I brought Fred out, and they got in real close into the tree line. And I don't know if you can pan that, Fred, over by
Oh,
the tree line
this
right
tree
there.
line here.
They got right in. There was probably 3 of them that I could count, maybe 4. And then they surrounded us back over here around us and around in the tree line. And they got so close that it makes your heart race and you start feeling weak at the knees.
Right.
Pretty scary.
So that was going to be my next question. How did like when everything started coming together for you and where you heard the women's voices and stuff, what was your initial like internal feeling? What was it that struck you the most in that moment?
Well, I felt like when they pulled that log out and they did all that I was being hunted, or that it was not good. It wasn't friendly, and at best it was it just downright scares the hell out of you. And it's not just a euphoria, it's an actual feeling that they give. They come in, your heart races, your stomach goes to your throat, and your knees kind of get weak, and you just feel like you want to get the hell out of there. And that's about all that I can recall. And there was one other thing that I didn't put in there. We had one trumpet at us, and kind of made this weird, the only way I could describe it was maybe as a clown nose, kind of honking, kind of almost like a goose, and that kind of mixed with it, trumpeted at us, and then did that 4 or 5 times and ran off, and then did it once when Fred was out. That was the only other thing, and he thought maybe this was a juvenile. So
right. Well, the tracks is what gets me, is because they're the way they articulate in the middle, that mid-tarsal break. That's one of the reasons I even decided to film them and not just chalk it up to a woman walking through there. You know what I mean? Because there's too many non-human-like traits to the tracks. The anthropologist I sent the images to got real excited. She agreed that it's not a normal human print, and she was asking for all sorts of different measurements and stuff. So that's why I got those on there.
I thought, well, what made me dismiss it at first a little bit was I thought a lot of people get stuck in the mud, and sometimes the wife will walk off to the side wearing flip-flops and just walk off with, on her bare feet till you get the wheeler out or something. But this trail I'm following has not been used, at least in the last year. I was the first one that pretty much came down it and started packing it down, so there was no traffic down here.
Right.
This was out in the middle of nowhere.
Just one more eliminating factor, you know what I mean? Which is good. So I want to thank Bill for sharing. There's going to be more to come here in the near future. It won't, it'll probably be, huh?
One more thing I wanted to
add
on this is not like me. I don't have Facebook. I don't get on the internet. I get mad at family members for posting my face when it comes to certain things. So it's not like me to get on and tell the public about this. But the reason I have is because I think more people need to be aware. And I didn't believe in any of this stuff. This was just a hoax or a scheme or some kind of baloney. But I don't feel that way anymore. This is something I believe in with my whole heart.
Yeah. So, all right. I appreciate you mentioning that. All right, this is Fred in Alaska. There's going to be more parts to this, and they'll be coming soon. I want to thank you guys for joining me. You guys have already seen the images already taken. We recorded a ermine as well, cute as a button. And we will catch you guys soon.